Today, we're diving into a topic that's central to so many of our lives, yet can often feel complicated and confusing. We're talking about love and intimacy. These two concepts are deeply intertwined, shaping our relationships, our happiness, and our sense of connection to others. But what do they really mean, and how do they work together? Let's explore this beautiful, complex dance. First, let's talk about love. Love is this vast, multifaceted emotion. It's the warmth you feel for your family, the deep bond you share with your closest friends, and of course, the passionate, romantic connection you have with a partner. Philosophers, poets, and scientists have tried to define it for centuries, and we still don't have one single answer. That's because love is personal. It's a unique experience for each of us. One popular way to understand romantic love is through the triangular theory of love developed by psychologist Robert Sternberg. He suggested that love is made up of three main components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Intimacy is that feeling of closeness, connectedness, and bondedness in a relationship. It's sharing your secrets, your dreams, and your fears with someone and feeling truly seen and understood. It's the emotional core of a loving relationship. Then there's passion. This is the sparks component. It's the drive that leads to romance, physical attraction, and sexual consummation. It's the intense longing to be with another person, the butterflies in your stomach, the excitement that makes your heart race. Passion is what often brings people together in the first place, that magnetic pull that's impossible to ignore. Finally, there's commitment. This is the decision to love someone and to maintain that love through thick and thin. In the short term, it's the choice to be in a relationship. In the long term, it's the shared plans and goals you make for the future. Commitment is the anchor of a relationship. It is the promise to stick around when the initial passion cools or when life throws you a curveball. It's what transforms a fleeting romance into a lasting partnership. According to this theory, different combinations of these three components create different types of love. For example, having just intimacy creates liking, like the bond you have with a good friend. Just passion results in infatuation, that head over heels feeling that can burn out quickly. And just commitment, without intimacy or passion, is what Sternberg calls empty love. The ultimate goal for many is what he calls consummate love, where all three components, intimacy, passion, and commitment, are present and balanced. This is the kind of deep, fulfilling relationship many of us aspire to. Now, where does sex or physical intimacy fit into all of this? Physical intimacy is a powerful way to express and experience the passion component of love. It is a deeply personal and vulnerable act that can strengthen the bonds of emotional intimacy and reinforce commitment. For many people, a healthy sexual connection is a vital part of a thriving romantic relationship. It's a language of its own, a way to communicate desire, affection, and care without words. When partners feel safe and emotionally connected, physical intimacy can become a beautiful expression of their love. It can be a source of pleasure, fun, and stress relief. It can deepen the sense of being a team, of being uniquely connected to one another. It reinforces the idea that we are in this together. This physical closeness can release hormones like oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which further promotes feelings of bonding and attachment. It's a positive feedback loop. Emotional closeness can lead to better physical intimacy, and satisfying physical intimacy can enhance emotional closeness. However, it's also crucial to understand that the relationship between love and sex isn't always straightforward. A healthy, intimate life is built on a foundation of mutual respect, consent, and communication. This is non-negotiable. Both partners need to feel safe, heard, and valued. Consent must be enthusiastic, ongoing, and can be withdrawn at any time. It's about checking in with each other, understanding each other's desires and boundaries, and prioritizing each other's comfort and pleasure. Communication is key. Talking openly and honestly about your desires, your boundaries, and your feelings is essential. It can feel awkward at first, but it is one of the most loving things you can do for your partner and for your relationship. It's about creating a space where both of you can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. When you can talk about what you enjoy, what you're curious about, and what you're not comfortable with, you build a level of trust that strengthens every aspect of your relationship, both in and out of the bedroom. It's also important to remember that passion naturally ebbs and flows in long-term relationships. The intense, all-consuming passion you feel at the beginning of a relationship will likely evolve over time. Life gets busy. Stress, work, kids, and just the routine of daily life can sometimes put a damper on desire. This is completely normal. It doesn't mean you've fallen out of love or that your relationship is doomed. The key is to be intentional about nurturing passion and intimacy. It's about making time for each other, not just for sex, but for connection. This could mean scheduling date nights, putting away your phones to have a real conversation, trying a new hobby together, or simply making a point to share a meaningful hug or kiss each day. It's about continuing to court each other, to show appreciation, and to remember why you fell in love in the first place. Sometimes keeping the spark alive means exploring new things together. It's about being curious and playful. Just like you might try a new restaurant to spice up your routine, you can explore new ways to be intimate. This is where communication is, once again, so important. Talking about your fantasies or things you like to try can be an exciting way to connect and build anticipation. We also need to acknowledge that everyone's needs and desires are different. There's no right amount of sex to have in a relationship. What matters is that both partners feel satisfied and that their needs are being met in a way that feels good to them. Comparing your relationship to others or to what you see in movies is a recipe for unhappiness. The only standard that matters is the one you and your partner create together. Moreover, love and intimacy can exist without a sexual component. For some people, particularly those who identify as asexual, romantic love doesn't include sexual attraction, and their relationships are just as valid, deep, and meaningful. Love is about that emotional connection, that commitment, that shared life, and physical intimacy can take many forms, from holding hands and cuddling to simply being present with one another. The most important thing is that the relationship fulfills the needs of the people in it. So how do we build relationships that are rich in both love and healthy intimacy? It starts with self-love and self-awareness. Understanding your own needs, desires, and boundaries is the first step to being able to communicate them to a partner. It is about being comfortable in your own skin and knowing that you are worthy of a loving, respectful relationship. It's also about choosing a partner who shares your values around respect, communication, and commitment. A good partner will want to understand you, will respect your boundaries, and will be willing to work with you to build a connection that is mutually fulfilling. Remember, building a great relationship is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing effort, patience, and a whole lot of grace for both yourself and your partner. There will be highs and lows. There will be times when you feel incredibly connected and times when you feel distant. The strength of your relationship is determined by how you navigate those challenges together. By focusing on building emotional intimacy, communicating openly, respecting each other's needs, and being intentional about nurturing passion, we can create relationships that are not only lasting, but are also a source of incredible joy, support, and connection. Love and intimacy are two of the most beautiful gifts of the human experience. They are worth nurturing, protecting, and celebrating. If you ever feel that challenges in your relationship or your intimate life are becoming overwhelming, please remember that seeking help is a sign of strength. Talking to a therapist or a relationship counselor can provide you with tools and a safe space to navigate these complex issues. There are resources available, and you don't have to go through it alone. Thank you so much for joining me for this important conversation today. I hope this has given you some food for thought about your own relationships and the beautiful dance between love and intimacy. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.